Welcome to CWS Christian Writing and Speaking. I'm your host, Jackie Wilson, and today's guest says she is a former black sheep turned Jesus girl. She's the mom of 8 boys and a spunky Grammy with a heart above the eye. She has a whole slew of adorable grandkids, she says. She is the founder of Listen Sister, Encouragement for Women Ministry. She continues to live her life hilariously, she says, in awkward moments in Sarnia, Ontario, to the ongoing embarrassment of her family. Let's welcome to the CWS stage Miss Tess Scott. Hello, Miss
Thank
Tess
you.
Scott.
Thanks, Jackie. I'm excited. I'm excited to meet you and to be here today.
Yes, absolutely. You know, we have to hear your story,
Mm.
especially this part about you say you are a former black sheep and you say you have lived your life in awkward moments. Tell us the story.
Oh boy, there's so many stories. That's the thing. So I would say like about my past, about my life. I got pregnant at 19, didn't go to college, had a baby because like in the 80s, that's what you did. You got married and had the baby, and life was different back then, I guess, than maybe now. And so I've been married lots of times, like 4 times, and just made so many bad decisions and so many like just devastating, there was devastating consequences for lots of people.
Mm.
And it's lots of things that I'm not proud of, but God can take our lives and turn them around despite ourselves. And that's what he did. Despite me, he turned my life around. And so I want to use my stories, whatever they are, and not necessarily the biography of my life, but like all the things that happened, and encourage other women that, God can do this for you too. And you're never too far. It's never too late. You're never too low. Like God uses the lowest, like the weakest, the most empty people to do his work for his glory. Because, like, let me tell you, sister, it's all God. It's zero Tess and 100 God. Like, so that in some ways that's kind of freeing, because when I knew God wanted me to write a book, and I was like, yay, no, I do not want to write a book because I don't want to share my story. It's very vulnerable to
Mm.
share. And also because like I thought, I'm not a writer, like I don't know what I'm doing, how would I even do that, I don't know. So there was there's a little bit of tension between me and God at that time, and I was telling him that I wasn't going to do it because I like to boss around, the creator of the universe. And he won. but the point is that all you need to do is that one step, right? Like instead of looking at this whole big picture that God's going to do, which is exciting and also scary, just what am I going to do today? Right? What's that one step he's asking me to do? Just do that. So that's my life. It's just like one little step at a time.
So you had a turning point. What was the turning point for you?
Well, well, there was lots of points along the way. So I would not say, like, it'd be easier if I could say, like, oh, I was this person, I met Jesus, I was this person. But the truth is, like, okay, so I asked Jesus into my heart when I was 7. But
Mm.
then I don't even know what that means. Like, I'm a 7-year-old girl, right? So then life just went on, and I made lots of mistakes, did lots of things. And then I came to a point where I'm like, oh yeah, like God saved me from this, So then I follow him for a while, and then like turn back the other way. And like I say, it's never a one and done. Like my salvation is a one and done. But
Mhm.
my following of him, like I have crawled back to God with a face full of tears just to wander away time and time again. It took me years. It took me years to like kind of get it. Like, Tess, what are you doing? Come on, get with the program. But God is so full of grace, and he knows that. Like, he knows that. He loves us so much. And my favorite part, I think my favorite attribute of God is that not only does he forgive us, like absolutely forgive us, but he chooses to forget. Like, I
Mm.
can't forget it, but God chooses to forget my past. He chooses to forget all the sin. It's already forgiven, it's gone. So I'm not going to remind him of it anymore because he's not even thinking about it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want to be. I want to be not thinking about it. I want to be like facing forward. What are the things I'm going to do for him? How am I going to encourage other women? Right. Instead of looking back, like there's some value in looking back at what God has done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like I want to see like so many miracles that I've seen. I want to see like, wow, God was faithful. So that in the future, because there's going to be days that we're going to be like, wow, what are you doing here? Right. I want to remember what he did so that I can remember God was and is and always will be faithful no matter what. Like you can't help but be.
Mm-hmm. And you
Yeah.
actually started a ministry. Is this the same message that you pour into the ministry that you founded?
Yeah. That's exactly what it's about. So I do some speaking, go to churches, ladies events, and just encourage women. I have a blog and now I have a book. And and my point is just to encourage women that you're not alone. Like, you know, we've all been wherever it is you are, right? Maybe not exactly,
Mhm.
but we've all been discouraged, and maybe your kids are driving you nuts, right? Or maybe you can't get pregnant.
Mhm.
Maybe I don't know, like all the things, but there's somebody out there who can say like, yep, that was me and God helped me through that. So I want to be that person that says, this is what happened and this is how I saw God be faithful. So stick with it.
Yeah. And so you have a book now. Can you tell people the title of it?
Oh yeah. So my book is coming out. The paperback is launching on June 14th of 2022, right around the corner. And it's called Listen, Sister, Finding Hope in the Freak Show of Life.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's a whole bunch of stories. They're all really short. So you can read them in the bathroom while your kid's like banging on the door and you only have 1 minute of peace a day. And so it's just really short. And it's everything from like growing up on a farm with a bunch of brothers, raising 8 kids, being a foster parent, adopting special needs kid, having breast cancer, my marriage. Like, okay, so this is one of the things that has happened. I'll tell you quick.
Sure.
When um, so I thought life was going along like tickety boo. Let me tell you, like I'm living for the Lord. I'm leading a Bible study. I'm like, all the things are great. And I think like, man, like thank you, Lord, for giving me chance after chance. And now my life is finally, going in the right direction. I'm like, I'm just overjoyed. And and this is back in 2012. And my husband came to me and said, yeah, I don't love you anymore and I'm out. So I'm like, what? I mean, things weren't perfect, but always in marriage, there's ups and downs and all that. So like I was devastated. I was just my face in the green carpet in my bedroom, just begging God, do not let him leave. I don't want to be a single mom again. I mean, there's still shame in the church and divorce. I
Mm.
don't like, I just like, finally, I'm living for you. Like, really? But yet God allowed it, right? God allowed him to leave. And then I tried to get back together with him. He was not interested. We got divorced, like my third divorce. This is
Mm.
like not something you want to count on two hands or anything. So I get divorced. And then after 3 years, we get back together. We have a friendship. We start dating. We got remarried.
Mm.
Like, how freaky is that? That is
Mhm.
freaky. Like that doesn't happen very often. And it's not, I knew that it wasn't guaranteed it would ever happen, but I knew that God could do it, right? I never doubted his power. God has the power to do these things. God can raise the dead, right? He can change a man's heart. And and he chose to. It might not have been the thing that was best for me. And I had to learn that um, no matter whether he does it or not, he's still God and he still loves me and he still has my best in mind. I don't know what that is. Clearly, I am not a good judge of what's best for me, but I know that God does have best for me in mind. And that's what he did. And, it's been just a freak show, my
Yeah,
life.
I
Yeah.
know the plans
So
God
many
have for
things.
you. Yeah,
So many things.
absolutely. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I just want you to address at least this one thing. Why do you call it the freak show?
Oh, well, my husband, that's my husband. Yeah. He says just because like coming home from work and there was like we had 5 teenage boys at one time
Wow.
and and plus a special needs son that we adopted and plus my youngest son. So and my oldest one was out by then. Like there's 8. Like it's a big number. And it was crazy. Like every night after dinner on the kitchen floor, this big open space, and they would wrestle. And like because whoever could keep the other guy down was the king of the family. It's not how old you are. It wasn't, whatever. It was like who could keep the other kid down on the floor because boys are very physical and everything is a challenge to them. So, yeah, there was always something. Yeah, there's lots of stories. And I find that a lot more stories are coming out now that they're grown up and they're
Mhm.
telling me things that I did not know was happening. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds your life is definitely interesting, and I can only imagine how interesting it is having 8 sons at one time.
Yeah.
That's a lot going on. But tell people how they can connect with you. How can they purchase your book when it comes out? Where's your website? What if they want to connect with your ministry group?
Yeah. So they can find me at tessscott.com. So 3 S's in the middle there, tessscott.com. And that has the links for all my social, Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff where I'm there as Listen Sister. They can connect with me. They can connect on the contact on my website, send me a message. I'll pray for you. We can connect or book me to come and speak at your event. I'll bring my freak show to you. Or you can find my book anywhere books are sold. So you can find it at Barnes and Noble, Kohl's, Indigo, Walmart.com, like all the places. Just look for Listen Sister Tess Scott. Yeah, should be able to find it. Amazon, even anywhere books are sold. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that with the audience. Audience, you heard her. No matter how many mistakes you have made in life, God
Mm.
gives you the grace to still come to Him and allow Him to lead your life. You have the opportunity. You're sitting here listening to this witness, her testimony of what God did for her life. So if
Yeah.
you are in that situation, listen, God is speaking to you right now. He's reaching out to you right now. Thank you for listening to today's episode. And until next time, beautiful people, God bless.